How does 2029 sound for Donald Trump to start serving his prison sentence for the 34-count felony conviction in New York for the Stormy Daniels hush money cover-up case from 2016? Sounds about right to me. I'm on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. I'm Michael Popok at The Intersection, and we've got a new filing by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which basically lays that out as a proposal to resolve the issue that Donald Trump's lawyers have raised, which are, hey, we just got elected president. You can't send us to jail. In fact, you should just get rid of the whole darn indictment, conviction, and sentencing, to which the Manhattan DA politely says, not over our dead body. The way that they've done it with their new filing, which I have a copy of right here, the Judge Merchan had asked and required that this filing be made in order to advise him about what he should do about the immunity decision and the election. Has that changed the world as we know it as it relates to the already convicted Donald Trump and his sentencing or not? And I like the way the Manhattan DA has phrased this. I said, this is just a temporary condition, him being president. It's just temporary immunity. It's just a temporary delay in the execution of justice. And what they're telling the judge is, and they'll do it in full briefing over the course of December, is that nothing's changed. The conviction is the conviction. The jury has spoken. The public looks to the jury in a public justice system for their ruling, and it needs to be respected. On the other hand, the presidency needs to be respected, no matter who occupies that office. And the powers of the presidency and in transition have to be respected. They get that. But they said, the judge, you got to balance it. It's a balancing test. They cite to a case from the United States Supreme Court involving Donald Trump and Cy Vance, who was the predecessor of Alvin Bragg in the Manhattan DA's office. They said, you got to come up with the balance, and we've got the way to balance it. They'll put it in more formal papers, but they say it's a temporary immunity issue. That's all we have here. It's almost like a disease. It's like we have a temporary virus. It'll eventually resolve itself, and we can put this person in prison where he belongs. So their position is quite easy to follow, quite elegant, and quite based on all of the law that matters. Manhattan DA's argument to the judge that they filed today is the following. The conviction stands. His being elected president after the fact doesn't change that, and you shouldn't change that. No vacating of or quashing of the conviction and reversing the jury's findings. No way. Secondly, the only thing left was sentencing, and a motion for immunity application where they argued, based on the United States Supreme Court decision in July of this past summer, that found that the Supreme Court found that Donald Trump was immune as president for certain official conduct while he was president. Almost the entirety of the conspiracy that he was convicted of had nothing to do with the presidency. It was all about an attempt to interfere with the election while he was candidate Trump. In fact, the entire conspiracy and the payoff to Stormy Daniels was completed before he was president. Some of the payback was done after he was president, but the payoff was done before he was president. So we always said the immunity decision was relatively easy for Judge Merchan, as opposed to Judge Chutkan down in D.C., where she has to go through like the entirety of all the time that Donald Trump was in office to see if this is an absolute immune, if this is private conduct, if this is borderline immune. He doesn't have to do that. Judge Merchan doesn't have to do that. And we're sure that last week he already has the decision ready. He was going to deny the motion on immunity grounds to dismiss. Now Donald Trump says, we got another one. The other one is he just got elected president again. There's presidential transition issues. You can't sentence him ever. It's the ever part that sticks in everybody's craw. Why is it ever? He got convicted. He doesn't get a avoid sentencing pass because he happens to be the president of the United States or incoming president of the United States. And that's what the Manhattan DA is telling Judge Merchan, which is this is a temporary condition. The temporary condition may last 4 years, but when he comes out and he pops out, you can sentence him now and you can defer the sentence from being actually served until after he comes out, or you can defer the whole sentencing 4 years. I think the better course is let's sentence him now and put a pin in it, trap it in amber, don't let him go in until after he's done in 4 years when he's, 83 years old. I mean, there's going to be some issues there about his age and the crimes and all that, but I think that's the right way to do this. It's the right way to balance and respect the jury's verdict and conviction. He's a convicted felon. I know that's what people voted for on Tuesday, 2 weeks ago, but that he is that. And the power of the office of the presidency, no matter who occupies it, maybe somebody who's not a criminal in the future. We can only hope on that matter. So this is the first salvo. Trump's lawyers, all of them now appointed to high positions or nominated for high positions in the Department of Justice, are going to file their paper. The judge is going to set a briefing schedule on all of these issues that'll take us through December. And then the judge is ultimately going to rule, and whoever's the loser is going to take an appeal to the 2 levels of appeal in New York, state court, and then over to the feds for federal appeal up to the United States Supreme Court. So probably sometime after the inauguration, sometime in the second quarter of 2025, we're going to get a ruling by some final ruling by some appellate court. And from there, we'll decide. I think the better argument is the one being made by the Manhattan DA's office. Temporary immunity only. Conviction stays in place. Sentencing doesn't get delayed, but the sentence imposition or the start of the sentence starts when he leaves office in 4 years. That's the answer. That's the simplest solution. If we're solving for an equation, that's the simplest problem to solve for. Now, Donald Trump's lawyers, I haven't seen their paper yet. It's coming, and I will do a report on it. Donald Trump's lawyers, oh no, it changes everything. He can't ever have the shadow and the burden of being a convict and a sentence convict at that hanging over him as a shadow in the presidency for 4 years. Some argument like that. And therefore, the whole thing should be thrown out because he won the lottery. He got to be president after he was already president once before. I think that gets rejected pretty quickly, even through appellate courts. But we'll follow it. You're here on the Legal AF network channel. Hit the subscribe button, right? Thank you. We need your help. We hit 50,000 new subscribers since Election Day, which is remarkable, all a testament to you. I'm doing my part as the curator over on this channel. So, and then we got our podcast, Legal AF. Now you know why we call it Legal AF. And if you didn't before, you do now. Thanks for being here on the channel. I look forward to you joining my next content, either on the MeidasTouch Network or over here on Legal AF. I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.